It feels good to be back. It feels good to be holding this drink in my hand. Hello, people. Are you here? Are you actually here, or is the chat just not loaded yet? Give it a sec. Ah, it's working. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Hey, Nick. Hey, Michael. People are trickling in. I hope everyone's having a good day, a good week, a good life. It's Friday, thank God. I'm so glad it's Friday. I'm going home this weekend, guys. I am leaving tonight at 11:30, and I haven't packed yet. Which maybe I should. Maybe I should pack. I don't know. I probably should get on that. But I still have a little bit of time, so I'm not terribly worried. Hi, everyone. Hi, James. Hi, Ashley. I'm so glad I'm back too. And no, listen, please, I'm not mad at all. Spam the shit out of my social media. If I'm not on it, hold me accountable. Hey, Casey. Where's home? Home is Michigan. So I am leaving tonight. Thanks, Nick. I'm leaving tonight. I'm flying home. I'll be home until Tuesday. So it'll be just a quick little visit. I'm going to see family. My older sister, she normally lives in Arizona with my niece and nephews, but she's going to be home, and my younger sister is going to be home as well from college. So everyone's just gonna be home. We're gonna have a family party. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited. And it's also I haven't been home since Christmas, so it's been a hot minute. Ooh, look at all these likes coming in. Thanks, Aurora. For how long? Yeah, just until Tuesday. Hey, Barry. Um, it has been a while. No, you're right. It has been a minute. So the thing is that we've been spending a lot of days, a lot of Fridays over at Chris's working on the house stuff because that's when like Jacob will have off, and then sometimes Chris has it off. So it's just like worked out. But that makes it like not as easy to do the live show every week when we're over there. And like they're paying me to do this, and I appreciate the money. So that's been a priority is working on the house lately. But it's coming along. I don't know if you guys saw in the most recent vlog that I posted. It's the Fourth of July vlog. We had a bunch of people over there. We had just like a barbecue, and then we were hot tubbing. But like everyone got to see all the work we've been doing. Got to see the front yard and the backyard, and then the little side area that we set up. So that was just really cool. If you haven't seen the vlog, you should go watch it. It's on my YouTube channel. Where are my lover boys? They are both at work right now, unfortunately. Although Kyle will be here soon. He got out of work at 4:30, so like a half hour ago, and he's hops on a train, then hops on a bus, and then he'll be back here. So Kyle will be here soon. Chris also gets out of work in like a minute or two, so he'll be back here soon. So I'll have some people joining me a little bit later in the show. It will be very exciting. Let me go read through some of these. Oh, hi from Wyoming. Any of the boys going with you? No, not this time at least. It was a very, very like abrupt thing that happened. My dad just like reached out and was like, "Oh, this is happening. Do you want to come home? I'll buy you a ticket." And I was like, "Yes." So like literally the boys were caught off guard and they were like, "Oh, you're going home?" They're very sad actually. They don't want me to go. But I'm excited. It'll be good. And they'll have to come to Michigan eventually. Thanks, Jordan. They'll have to come see like my hometown and check out, you know, my whole life there because like that was a completely different part of my life that is different than, LA. And speaking of similarly, we're going to Nebraska in October because who is it? Jacob's friend is getting married, and so we're all going to go to the wedding, and then that way I will get a chance to see where they grew up. They grew up like in Omaha. Well, Jacob kind of, you know, Jacob grew up everywhere, but I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see where they lived for like a lot of their lives and see what they think about it. Can you do another poly information video? Yes, I certainly can. Well, like, what are some things you'd want us to discuss? Because I'm very happy to. I've been like meaning also to make some more of these poly videos because I do have ideas of things I'd like to discuss. Like I feel like a lot of people have asked about jealousy, which is understandable. So we could talk about that. Sorry, I just need a drink. How are you doing tonight or this evening? Because it's night here. It's like 5 o'clock here, so it's almost evening. I'm doing good. I've had a great day. I got up. I worked it a little bit this morning. What else did I even do today? God, it's like one of those days when I like had a lot of things going on. I got to talk to my friend Emma, who lives in New York right now. That's been really nice. Thanks, Ashley. I'm going to California again in October, finally leaving Texas. That's exciting. Although I might be in Nebraska when you're here. I was in Omaha recently and totaled my car. Oh my God, Katie, are you okay? What happened exactly? That's crazy. I just had a discussion with someone the other day about this actually. There was like, oh, well, literally I almost got in a car accident like this morning. I was driving someone for Uber and we were like turning left on this intersection and it was busy, so I had like pulled out a little bit. They were going to let me go. And this other car, there was like no one even coming this way. So like I totally could have moved. Or I totally like should have been able to go, but then this other car just came like speeding around the corner, coming like straight at me, and I had to swerve. It was very ridiculous. I don't recommend it. Try not to get in car accidents. People here cannot. I'm sorry, I'm like holding on to this pen. People here, I just like people can't drive. I'm not about it. How's the front porch coming along? Our porch here, we haven't worked on it that much lately, but really I feel like it's been because we've been spending so much time over at Chris's, and like that's been fulfilling a lot of our need to be like, setting up things, buying stuff, decorating, all those cool things we like to do. I think it's great that the three of you have each other. I think it's great too. Oh, thanks, Lindsay. Hit a pole. I'm hurting from airbags, but otherwise good. Sucked big time. Oh, I'm sorry that happened to you. That sucks. That does suck. That really sucks. Hit a pole? Is your car okay? Is it gonna like cost a lot of money to get fixed? Kyle, or not Kyle, Jacob was in a car accident like several months ago, and it was like a disaster for him because he was driving for Lyft at the time. Is it just Uber I work with? Yeah, I don't work for Lyft at all, just because my insurance like doesn't allow me to for some reason. I almost didn't get in the car because the door would not open, and I almost got stuck in Arizona. That's real. People can't drive in Texas either. I feel like people can't. We just shouldn't be driving, right? Like as humans, let's let the robots do it. That's my opinion. As soon as they're better than us, obviously, not now, but no, I'm all about self-driving cars. So let's make that happen. Let's like chill while we commute places for really, really cheap, and maybe not all die in car crashes because like clearly human drivers are prone to a lot of error. Surprise. Especially with goddamn cell phones. Where's the rest of the house? Brett is here actually. Brett! I don't know if he'll come out. He's drawing, but he might come say hi. Have I been sick lately? I look skinnier. I've not been sick. I'm skinnier. It's probably because I've been just like from all the manual labor at Chris's has been like helping burn calories. I haven't been doing P90X at all with Jacob or anything, but like we're still maintaining our shape just from like digging holes and planting shit. So that's been nice. There are too many ethical issues with self-driving cars? Like what? Are there more ethical issues than there are with human drivers? What am I drinking? Oh, I'm drinking... What am I drinking? Well, I'm drinking out of this cup of cheer mug, because why the F not? But I'm drinking... it is apple rum and Diet Coke, because that is just what we had in the house. I'm thinking my second drink might be like vodka lemonade, but like we don't really have much at the moment to drink or eat. Y'all, life is hard. In that case, Americans just should drive. Oh, it's so quiet. Oh, I don't like it. Oh, screams. Brat! Come say hi.
What?
Come say hi. I'm out in the room, the living room.
I'm watching Jurassic Park.
And how is that going so far?
It's going swell.
I was explaining that you've been doing some drawing also.
I have been.
How's that going?
Good. You want me to show you?
Oh yeah, you should show everyone. That'd be fun. Brett is a fantastic artist, and he also hates when people say that, so it's fun.
Never should have told you.
If a self-driving car gets into an accident, whose fault is it? The company who made the car or the person who owns the car? Well, if the person who owns the car wasn't driving, then why would it be their fault? I feel like, of course, it would be the company who owns the car. Because I also don't think, like, I feel like in a lot of these situations, people will definitely still own their own cars, but I think it'll be more common that there will be, like, a fleet of cars that people can just use rather than owning them. Because I think we want to be able to go wherever we want, whenever we want.
You're damn right.
But we also, I think, don't want to have to actually pay to, like, have a car and maintain it indefinitely. Because think of all the fucking money I could save if I did not own a car.
You're saying more like rentable cars, like the e-car kind of situation?
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like it would be on, like, a like, per trip basis, where, like, if you want to go on a larger road trip, that'd be a different situation than if you're just gonna, like, drive up to the grocery store.
Can I have some?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know. I mean, I think that's just from, like, Christmas? I don't know. Rent his cousins or something.
You want to see this shit or not?
Yes. Show.
I am drawing a friend from the softball team and his mother.
I'm like in the corner.
Can you see it? Can you see it?
Does it look like people?
Does it look like people?
Do you want to? Are you showing the wings too, or no?
No.
And how is Jurassic Park?
It just finished. It gets better every time I watch it, which is frequently.
I believe
it's
it.
always getting just amazing.
I believe it. It's
Yeah.
Brett's favorite movie.
It's my favorite movie.
Except when I hear it though, I hear the like "What are those" in the Jurassic Park theme song. Have you seen that Vine? Nice drawing. That's amazing. It looks like people. See? Great reviews.
That's the highest praise I've ever
It looks like
It looks
people.
like people. Thanks.
Which one? The original or new one?
Oh,
He's
cool.
watching.
The first one.
The
I
first
watch
one.
the first one all the time.
Are you able to use a car with manual transmission? No, I don't know how to drive
I do.
manual. Do you?
Yeah.
A stick?
Yeah, I could teach you how to drive stick shift.
I mean, will I ever need to learn that?
Yeah, if you ever want to drive a truck.
But-
semi-truck, which everybody does.
Which I
want to.
guess maybe I do. My dad drove semi-trucks, actually.
It's like the coolest shit. I would want to drive one, except for like in.
You have to
very
get like a
situations.
whole endorsement on your license, though.
and that would
Yeah.
require you knowing how to.
I mean, yeah, that's true. My dad, yeah, he had an endorsement to be a semi-truck driver, and he also had a motorcycle endorsement at the same time. So apparently my dad was a badass before he
Oh, it's pretty easy.
gave
to get
birth to me.
motorcycle.
Oh, well, fine. But I don't know. For a minute I thought I wanted a motorcycle, and then just like seeing people drive around with motorcycles here makes me not ever want to drive one, because like it's dangerous. They just
drive
like
in
drive
between
in and out of I would not do that. I would just wait. I don't think I would get the benefits of the motorcycle because I would not just like cut in front of everyone.
I'd be too scared.
if I need to drive in Europe, Europe is mainly manual, apparently. That's interesting. Ooh, guys, I also had sort of a crazy idea the other day that I mentioned to Chris and Jacob and Kyle, and they seem maybe on board with it. It's like really crazy, and it might not happen, so I'm not gonna like promote it too much. Well, no, we talked about like traveling has always been something that we want to do. And so we talked about the idea of just like maybe taking the next year, like next year, to travel around for a little bit and check out like places that we have not been to, because there's a lot, like I've been to a couple countries in Europe, but like there are a lot of places that I have not visited that I would love to, and I feel like the older I get, the less opportunity I'm going to have to like make a big trip like that happen, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Should take advantage of doing things when you're young and stuff, you know?
Right?
When you still have the joints to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, because in like 20 years, am I going to want to like backpack and walk all through Europe and like onto Asia? No, I don't think so.
You're not going to want to do that.
I'm not going to want to.
You're not going to want to do that.
Come to Iceland. That is actually on the list. We have a lot of places. Okay, top 3 places. Oh, God. Well, I want to go to Amsterdam because I haven't been before, and that seems like a really cool place. Where else do I want to go? I found out that my name, Moffat, comes from Moffat, Scotland. Apparently, there was a Moffat clan that I'm likely descended from. So, like, I kind of want to go there to Scotland and see it, especially since that's, like, a big part of my heritage, probably.
Why are you shouting?
I don't know. Am I screaming? Oh, them. If you came to Europe, many people would love to meet you in some sort of meet and greet. Yeah, see, and that's the thing we're thinking is, like, a lot of people would love to come say hi, and we'd love to, like, meet all of you guys. And yeah, we would definitely vlog the travels. So we're trying to figure out exactly what the format of it would be, because we would want to make it some sort of, like, not necessarily show, but we'd want to make it about more than just, like, hey, look at these white people experiencing things for the first time. In white Europe, yeah.
White Europe.
Well, no, we want to, so what we're thinking we might do is we'd spend some time in Europe. Well, honestly, what we're thinking we'd do is we'd go to New York first to, like, as our jumping off point to Europe. We'd spend some time in, like, a couple places as, like, our home base, and then extend out via trains to, like, go visit a bunch of other spots. And then, like, do that for, like, 6 months or so, and then, yeah, maybe, like, move on to Asia, because we'd like to go through... Chris really wants to go to Istanbul, and then I would love to go to India, so he has a couple of cities, like, picked out for us that we would go to, and then, like, on through, like, Bangkok and, like, Kyoto, Tokyo, what? And then we'd fly back. And we basically work our way all the way around the world. Not, like, obviously visiting every country, and we're pretty much ignoring the Southern Hemisphere, which we would have to rectify at some point. But, like, it'd be cool as, like, a conceit of, like, we circumnavigated the planet.
I want to go on a trip, like, around the Nile. I want a danger trip. I want to, like, go into the Congo and, like, see wild gorillas, like, mountain gorillas in their habitat.
That sounds terrifying.
Cool.
But fun, though. Gorillas?
Yeah. Like
gorillas could fuck you up.
I know, I want, like...
I know, fuck me up.
It'd be so cool. Well, I do want to get eaten by a jungle cat anyway. So
yeah, like, okay, wait, have you mentioned this before on your here?
No. I want to die by getting eaten by a jungle cat. And that's about it. Well, like, it's going to be like a Bilbo Baggins kind of journey, you know, at the end of, you know, where he's like, goes and sails off and he's like, well, time to die. Right, goodbye, y'all. So,
except he doesn't get eaten by a jungle cat. He just goes to the...
Yeah. I just think it'd be really, like, pretty to go back to Earth and to nature instead of, like, fermenting yourself and putting yourself in a fucking box.
I would expect nothing less from you, Brett.
I just think, like, putting yourself in a box for, like, all of eternity is, like, it's just, like, wasteful of space. Like, you take up so much space and you take up so many resources when you're alive, and then you want to, like, have this, like, space set aside for you when you die, or you would, like...
Yeah.
Or you would like want to be cremated or something, so it's like an animal could eat your fleshy bits, and then you're just like, and then you're like, no,
And
I'm
then
gonna
you're-
burn it all, so you don't get to get anything. Like I took and took and took my whole life,
Right.
and then now I'm gonna take in my death too. Yeah, so that's
And so that way you would be helping, like, keep the circle of life going,
Yeah.
the ecosystem.
my energy will go into that tiger, and then I just have to hope that that tiger doesn't get poached or something. You know?
Which, like, oh,
Hello,
Christopher.
So,
Welcome back.
How small the world is?
How small is the
One of the
world?
girls who used to work at Revolver is now a VSA at my museum.
Oh, what's her name? Oh,
I-
let's sit on that.
I literally didn't. I wasn't gonna say. I literally did not see her name tag today, and I only met her
You,
once. But she's very nice. And what's funny is that
you
she
want to be
agreed
poop?
that your
Yeah,
boss-
I want to be poop, okay? Because even poop gets
It's
eaten
really
still.
hot in here. You aware of
Is it
this?
hot in here? Well, it's probably hot outside too, isn't it?
It is
It's
hot
been
outside.
so fucking hot lately in LA, which I'm not mad
I
about,
was
but
gonna
we
say,
haven't
you
been
say
in the
you're mad
ocean.
about
We haven't been in the ocean enough.
That's true.
I was gonna go today, but
The water was so warm too when we were there last weekend. We all like jumped in immediately,
We did. No, it's never that warm.
right?
It was so nice.
Ooh, watching y'all from how about South Africa?
Ooh.
I suggest visiting Cape Town. Very chill place.
I want to go to Cape Town.
I was telling them about the theoretical idea. Basically.
Oh, and what did they say?
People
finish that.
people are really down with the idea of doing meetups in places.
Gee, I can't imagine.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's all fine and dandy for y'all. You don't have to pay for it.
Well, yeah. See, that's the thing is,
Fun
we
does.
got to figure out how we're gonna finance it right now. We're gonna fund our trip, but if we can, I mean, literally, Chris Kyle last night was like, "I'm very interested in this idea."
Is he?
Yeah,
His
and you were so surprised.
his worry when he spoke, that I was like, that's exactly what I thought he'd be worried about.
Yep.
You know, and I'm not to say that I'm not concerned and don't have worries too, but let's see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Oh yeah, there's so many worries. I'm like worried about the idea of being away from California for such a long period of time.
I am too.
And like part of it is like I haven't seen some of my friends in a while, so like
Mhm.
that wouldn't be that big of a change, but would they even be here when I got back? Who knows?
Do you need more people than the three of us?
I would like
I
a
didn't say that.
good mix of friends.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where are my eyebrows? They're right here.
They're
They're right fucking here.
Y'all mean. Y'all are mean.
I'm sorry I didn't draw them in today.
You're all mean. He has really nice eyebrows.
They just don't show up on camera.
They really don't. They're much better in person.
Ireland, you won't regret it. I would go to Ireland.
I've been to Ireland a lot. I used to go once every 2 years or so. I haven't been in a while, but I love Ireland. Mostly in the West. I've spent a lot of time in and around Limerick. It's beautiful there.
That would be good. We were considering like beginning our trip in that general area. Those
Thank
islands.
you for the hair compliment. It's sweet of y'all.
Mhm.
I don't know why I started saying y'all. Y'all is
Y'all, it's probably my fault.
could be your fault.
Thanks, Andre. Where are my eyebrows? How dare you? Shut up.
Bubble unicorns.
Bubble unicorns.
Did you know there were bubble unicorn suits? I didn't know.
I know now. I want one.
A bubble unicorn suit probably wouldn't last very long.
What? You don't think so?
Probably not.
We have that like 100 balloon blow up at once thing.
That's true. I have not been to Galway. I've driven through Pax of Connemara before. I've heard it's a lovely city. I'd like to go for its music festival, which is rather famous.
Ooh, I'm on Lost season 2, almost halfway through. Did you like season 2, Chris?
The flashbacks were starting to get boring. Like, there were still a lot of them in season 2 that I liked, but it was
Yeah,
beginning
yeah.
to get a little tiresome where I'm like, no, I'd rather just stay with the plot and see what's going on rather than any of this.
Well, some of the people who got the most flashbacks, we saw too much of.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jack. We didn't need that much about Jack.
Do you really care that much? He's not that complicated a guy.
He's
he
really
really
not.
is not. He has a hero complex and daddy issues. That's it.
He's very troubled, but
And he doesn't really love women. He just wants to fix them, which is really fucked up if you think about it. And I kind of wish Kate had taken into task for that a little bit more, or any of the women.
but
in his
she
life.
was also just as fucked up
No,
for other
she's
reasons.
not a real character. She's just a female fantasy that men who have never been with women project onto other women. It was the whole time. I'm like, why are you? They're parading like she's this great female empowered character. I'm like, no, she's a cardboard
She has like
cutout.
nothing to do most
She's
of the
nothing
time.
to do but want to fuck one of the guys or the other and then get in a hissy fit. It's so no. There were strong women on that show. She is not one of them, and people need to stop saying that. It's dumb.
I saw those unicorn suit things before, and I really wanted them, but couldn't find them anywhere. Yeah, that seems like something that would be hard to procure.
Ooh, good word choice.
Thank you. Thoughts on the RuPaul finale?
Well, I will say
Chris has a lot of thoughts.
there was not a clear frontrunner for me this season. There was
for
nobody who
most
stood
of the
out.
season. Yeah, I would agree.
And I felt like no real queen deserved it, but each one of them had a skill that was worthy of it. Like Peppermint's lip syncs and her face are really good. Like, but her outfits are piss poor, and she knows it.
And a couple of them were great, but
Shea
not like
Coulee
consistently.
was my personal favorite, and I really liked all of her looks. I do feel though like it doesn't sparkle. Like, you know what I mean? You don't like remember any of her looks. They're all good, but you just. I do think she's also the most transformation because she's definitely the ugliest face normally to the prettiest girl.
Shea?
After. Yeah.
Interesting.
And I just didn't care for Sasha Velour. I think there have been other club kids who've been on before that were better or had more interesting looks. I don't like the unibrow, and the color blocking is dull. But I am happy a club kid won. You
Counts
know?
for something.
Yeah, like it's a different kind of winner, and I think that's great and everything. And I know how much it meant to her, and she seems like a great girl. Plus, her lip syncs were both great. But.
Yeah, see, I would be more frustrated, I think, because I wanted Sasha to win, too, going into the finale. I would have been frustrated if the lip syncs, if she didn't, like, earn it. But I feel like if you were basing it off the lip syncs from that episode...
I don't think you necessarily should, though.
Maybe not. Maybe you shouldn't.
I almost think...
maybe because the other episodes, they tend to, right? They decide how... each queen performed, pick the bottom two, and then you base it off the lip sync. But for the finale, maybe you have to do something different.
Well, I almost feel like throughout the season, if you win challenges, if you do mini challenges, you should win points, which make up like 2/3 of why you win. And then the final lip sync is like what pushes you over the top or whatever. Might be a little bit fairer, although we are talking about a competition of men dressed as women, so we really don't have to take it quite. That intensely. Somebody asked. Okay, this one I kind of want to dig into.
Oh,
this
yeah.
one. Question. So I'm legit obsessed with gay couples / people, not really lesbian couples. Is that weird seeing that I'm totally straight? Chris, opinion. First of all, are you a straight girl? What are you? Because that makes a difference. Because like a lot of straight girls do fetishize gay boys. And the thing is, like, the only thing where I think it's really wrong is if you don't actually support LGBT people in real life, just in fiction, or just because you don't want your celebrity to be dating women other than you, which a lot of people who are into like pop star fandom do things like that, and it's fucked up. I don't know. It's like we all fetishize all different kinds of people, like, and not just sexually. Like we it's just something you do.
Yeah.
But as long as you are sort of aware of that and guarding against that, and still are able to see LGBT people as real people, aside from your love of them as a thing. Like, do you love us because we're transgressive? Do you love us because we're decorative? Do you love us because, like, why?
Right.
You know, it's just different. It depends. That's so my answer is not foolproof. It's just I mean, that's always the answer.
It depends.
This week, soldiers and hikers from all over the Western world are streaming to my city. Cool.
What city? 50 kilometers every day for 4 days. That's a lot.
Yes, she is not a performance artist. Thank you, TB Holmes. She is not. Like, there's not... Performance artists are much weirder than that. Like, I don't think you quite understand how weird they are, and she's kind of being... I'm like, that Basquiat shit. I'm like, that's 30 years old. A lot has happened since then. Like, move on. Like, if I was seeing this, like, even... I mean, we're also spoiled, right? Because we now live in an age where we can see Instagram queens. We can see people like Ryberk doing work that's so above and beyond that everybody else is just like, oh, it's fine. But remember, this is a mainstream show, and it's introducing drag to the world, first of all, and also weirder forms of drag to the world, and it's great. I'm just happy Trinity didn't win. Because she looks like an ugly 80s Barbie.
Yeah, Trinity was not on my list of people I thought
respect her talent, how much work she's put into.
Oh yeah, she's so professional.
Like, and yeah, her tuck is incredible. It is incredible. But yeah, absolutely not.
I feel like straight girls fetishizing gay boys is the same as straight boys fetishizing lesbians.
It is. Only, of course, when men do it to women, it's worse because that's the nature of the world. But because they have more institutional power and therefore can affect people more than straight girls can. it's not exactly the same, but I get what you're saying in that it's not seeing them for real people, but as objects,
Mm-hmm.
which I will say I think is fine in fantasies as long as you do not bring that into real life.
Although straight boys are still sexually fetishizing lesbians, whereas straight girls fetishizing gay boys is not generally like
Yeah,
sexual.
yeah. Well, my whole thing is I almost am a big believer that you can fantasize about whatever the fuck you want. Because that's just what your urges and your hormones are giving you, so don't worry too much about that.
I feel like if we looked at, like, global porn searches, but not, like, the most common ones, like, the less common ones, there'd be a lot of really fucked up shit going on there.
Yeah, everyone just accept we're all crazy, accept we're all fucked up, and then just try not to hurt each other. Much easier. But yeah, I judge people on what they do, not what their instincts are telling them they might want, in theory. Because people also forget that sometimes the things you want, like, in... like, sexual fantasies aren't even things you would necessarily really want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's the idea
It's just the idea of it that, like, helps.
Get you off.
Some of that, too, is, like, the forbidden nature of it.
Yeah, transgression.
Is that what... I'm thinking of a different word for it, but maybe it'll come to me.
Yeah. What else we got?
What do I feel about the bisection of LGBT being on the fringe? Did you hear the story of lack of bi representation at London Pride? I didn't really hear about that. That does make me sad, but I also know that that's been just like a thing for a long time. And I also feel like of LGBT trans people have it worse.
Of color.
Especially trans people of color. But I mean, we just
Taboo?
have to.
Is that the word you were looking
That's
for?
the word I was looking for. We like the taboo-ness of something that like helps you get off. Yeah, no, I think it's just we're always going to have to fight for more representation, I think.
And it's funny because you guys are the largest part of the community, too.
Right, which is crazy. And, well, because so many people also, like, could maybe identify as bi if they so chose, but a lot of people choose not to, which I think is a little frustrating. Yeah, taboo is the word you were looking for. Thank you. I like guys with earrings. It's my stupid fetish. Some have feet, some have ... It's true.
Okay, now if you happen to like guys with earrings, we're super supportive. Things that are objects connected to a person that you want to fetishize, it's entirely okay, because they're objects. So you can objectify them being objects. It's fine. And obviously some level of objectification happens in all sexual desire, a little bit, like that's true too. But, you know, it's as long as you just have to be able to see the person as a real person. You know.
Right. Yeah, there's...
Hi, Berry T.
What am I thinking about? I'm thinking about, like...
Straight girl, really don't know why. It just makes me so happy seeing gay guys. My friends think I'm weird. Okay, well, first of all, you're not alone. So don't, like, think you're, like, alone, because you're not. I know tons of... I mean, the whole fanfiction community is largely girls like you. It's just... It depends on how you're treating actual gay men in your life. Like, first of all, do you have gay men in your life? Because if you don't, but you're, like, super fetishizing them, that's a little problematic. Not bad.
Unless you're also in an area where, like, you aren't exposed to that many gay people.
Yes. No, I'm just saying, like, but if, like, she does it, let's say she lives in, like, London or something, and that's something. So, like, that's fine. But, like, I know a lot of girls who, like, okay, my cousin Beth, I care about her a lot, but, like, when she talks to me, she kind of talks to me like I'm a gay guy. I'm like, no, I'm Chris. You know me.
Yeah.
You talk to me. You don't, like, just bring up all the gay shit you've ever heard of, or all these instances where you've been an ally and you want to show off to me that you're a good person. I worry I do that with, like, black girls all the time. Then I'll tell them, like, oh, I think your hair's so pretty, and blah, blah, blah. Like, to try to do all these things, to try to counteract what my whiteness does. You have to be careful about that. I don't know. It's complicated.
It is complicated.
What do you think of ministry, army, and police representation at Gay Pride?
I don't really have a problem with, well, army and police representation, I would say. I don't know how I feel about, like, ministers.
I think if they're ministries that are gay supportive or LGBT supportive, great. Be there, that's awesome. I think, what was the other one? Ministry, army, and police.
Army
and police is a little bit different for our LGBT friends of color who do not see them as something that is safe,
yes,
but as something that could harm us. And historically, and in most of the world, police and army are not supportive of us. So I think it's a difficult area that we as a community need to sort of sit and talk about. Because it's like there's good reasons for and there's good reason against.
Right. Like when we were at Pride this year and we passed all those, all those cops on the street, I didn't feel frightened personally because, well, A, I'm white, and also B, because it was West Hollywood. But like elsewhere, that could be a very different story if you're walking past like 10 cops in a row and they are not as,
This is true. Also, I have done drag on Halloween on a couple of occasions. Brett really wants to actually beat my face one of these days. So I'm totally down, and thank you for thinking.
Which I think should happen.
Thank you for thinking I'm pretty, which is the underlying assumption of that. Thank you for saying you love my pictures on Instagram. I work very hard, and now that my Tumblr's gone, it's my artistic outlet, so brilliant. So, Kenny, do you feel the next fight is within the community? Stop doing that.
Scrolling.
For bi people considering countries have gay marriage and equality.
I don't know. I feel like I just feel weird about talking about things like the next fight, because a lot of this stuff is still stuff. It's just like stuff that we've already been fighting for a really long time.
And gay marriage is not the end all, even for
exactly.
gay rights. It's not the end all for anything.
It's not the end all for anything. I like. There's so much further that like everyone has to get to, and like bi representation is a very important part of that should be included and talked about, I think, like as frequently as everything else. But I'm also acknowledging that like we got a lot of work to do still.
This is true. All right, so then that was that one.
What is your skincare routine?
Wait, the guy, your left, my left, me.
Yeah, who's left?
Who's left? Because I want to know who you think is hot, because I'm super needy for attention. What else we got? What is your skincare routine? I don't have one.
I don't either. I wash my face occasionally in the shower.
Can I say the gay best friend trope is so utterly damaging? The way my friends are treated as novelties by so many girls is so hurtful.
Well, that's the concern. That's the whole concern.
I said I will play the like gay best friend if it's a group of girls I'm like I will see for one night, because then it's kind of fun and I'm like But if you're like I actually want to know me, or I'm like trying having a real conversation, real connection with you, then no, get the fuck off. Like it's weird how people do that. Like, and they think, but I'm not being hateful, so I'm not being homophobic. No, you're treating me like I'm like some trope in a sitcom. I don't know. It's it's Will rather than Jack on Will and Grace.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
So it's really damaging. I'm gay obsessed with lesbian relationship. Is that weird? It is wired. Is that
wired?
It is a little unusual, but you know what? Not enough people who are not straight men are saying lesbian relationships are cool. So support them because they need it.
Yes.
And in a day when they get more representation, then maybe you have to re-examine that. Minneapolis almost banned police presence from the press.
See, that could have been like concerning for other reasons too. If there aren't police there to like stop someone who is coming to do something bad.
So his left, you're right.
Read any good fiction lately? I've read so much nonfiction lately, honestly. I've been reading all about psychedelic mushrooms and shamanism, which is very interesting.
If you are gay and treated like every gay stereotype, then show the heart and honesty of the way you live your life. First of all, what's to say that I don't? Secondarily, my job is not to prove that gay people are people to other people. That is not my job. Just like it is not black people's job to educate white people, it is not women's job to educate men. That is not... Educate yourself. We live in the internet age. It's all available to you.
True.
You do not need me to hold your hand.
Do a quick Google search.
I mean, if people want to ever talk about it, like I am so down to talk about it because I have like learned how to talk about these issues relatively well from being a canvasser. But like that is not any gay person's responsibility.
That's definitely something that I've thought about, like for going home and having to talk to people. Is I don't know that I could counter some of the things that they would say because I haven't been like put in that situation a lot. Whereas like you or like Jacob and Kyle who had to like be face to face with people who were like all different kinds of supported and otherwise.
Oh, I had people yell at me that I'm going to burn an eternal hell. People spit at me. I've had lots of things happen, and you learn how to both keep your calm and respond in safe. We can talk. I mean, yeah, we can work on that.
Well, because the situation hasn't come up yet when I've had like where I've had a family member or someone else from back home say something like insensitive to me and then like put up a fight when I call it out, I just like I'm not sure if I would be prepared for that. And I'd like to think that I'm educated on the issues, but I think being able to like debate someone in the way that you're talking about without getting angry and like without becoming like emotionally attacking the other person is like a difficult thing to do.
It is hard. It takes a lot of time and you need to learn to disassociate a little bit. It's actually one of the reasons Jacob was telling me this last night why he stopped canvassing for gay rights. Was because he cared too much, and he'd come home really beaten at the end of the day,
Right.
which he'd never shown to me. I didn't see that at the time, but he was just like, yeah, it's hard having everyone just tell
People like yelling in your face all the time. Well, yeah, that sounds very difficult.
For me, I just didn't care because I'm like, you're assholes, and in this state, your voice doesn't matter. So I don't have to. My privilege, and my privilege of the right is I don't have to care about you. I can decide you don't get to bother me. I'm not saying other people have to take that opinion, but that's just how I did it because it was my job. That I was like, no, you don't. No, fuck
well, you have to find some way to separate it, and you have to find some way to like tell yourself that it's not about you either necessarily. Although it sort of is.
I mean, the ones that have been harder for me are other gay guys hating on me for being sort of femmy. That hurts my feelings. And it shouldn't, and I'm learning to be thicker about it. But like, it's happened. It's happened for all you lovely people out there. It has happened. I've had people tell me I'm a detriment to the movement, and I'm the kind of gay.
Yeah, people in YouTube comments on our vlogs have said that.
It was really hurtful.
Like, what? Do you know where you are? Do you know what kind of channel this is?
It was really shit. But I just did a whole speech about, the gay rights movement was started by people of color who were gender nonconforming. Not even would fit into trans, or just right. Gender nonconforming street people. Of the LGBT community. That's who started this movement on Stonewall, and we can't just throw them under the bus because white gays might feel uncomfortable. We should not do anything because white gays feel uncomfortable.
White gays feel uncomfortable sometimes,
but that's completely different. That's completely different. Let's see. I've been a minute with that already. So this is true. Yeah. Some people don't want to come out as bi because they might be afraid of getting
other people's hopes up.
Like parents and stuff.
They might still end up with a girl anyways.
That is hard, but lesbians have to hear, maybe you just haven't had the right man. As in, what they're really saying is, you just haven't had the right dick yet. Absolutely not.
And really, they're saying, you haven't had my dick yet.
And gay guys have to do that with, you just haven't found the right woman, or maybe your mother was a little too smothering, or, it's, nothing you do. So, yes, I see that fear, and it is legitimate, but no matter any LGBT kind of identity, you're going to have to kind of deal with that if your parents are dumb.
I kind of feel like a fraud as a bi person. Explain. Like a fraud within the community? Is that what you mean?
I get that sometimes, especially because there's always so many standards about what you're supposed to or not supposed to be in the community. I haven't dated in, a long while, and it's made me at Pride events feel like I'm, masquerading because, I'm not, but that's not true. Especially because I don't pass. I think if I passed and did that, it'd be different.
Well, that's an issue for bi people specifically, but for everyone is that your sexuality isn't determined by who you're seeing at that particular moment in time. You're not suddenly a lesbian if you start dating girls.
Today's non-binary day. Yay for all non-binary people. Yay!
Oh, yay! I didn't even know that.
That's awesome.
I was looking for things to talk about that are LGBT related news. I have no idea how that didn't even come up. There's
too many days.
There's no news right now, y'all. The only thing everyone's talking about is fucking Trump Jr. and all that bullshit. Which I'm just I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it.
Kenny, do you still have scar tissue you can feel after piercing your ears?
I don't know. I don't think so. Well, can you feel? Is that scar tissue?
There's a dimple.
There's a dimple there.
There's a dimple there. But no. I didn't even know you had your ears pierced.
Uh-huh.
Aren't you guys cute? Yeah, we are. Thank you. You're all so sweet. Why do I keep getting this?
That can be really hard because it is about you on a certain level.
It is. No.
It is about you.
I'm just saying, for me, because it was my job.
You have to find a way to be able to separate it.
Yeah. I'm not saying, if it's a family situation or a friend or any other, or even a job, other kind of job where, your bosses be like that. No. But I'm just saying, for me, the way I separated it was I just disconnected. I'm like, who gives a fuck what crazy people? It's I don't know. Who gives a fuck what crazy people think? There's always going to be crazy people. It'd be like getting hurt by what frickin' Trump says. I don't give a fuck what Trump says. I got a frickin' master's. He's got nothing. He's got a wife that hates him. Good for you. Stupid. Okay, so we got that. Most people assume I'm straight as I date guys as well. That's hard. Because you feel like you want to stand up for your community and be a member of your community as you are, but you also don't want to be flashy just for the sake of getting attention. That sucks. So really, you just have to dress more queer. That's really what you're gonna have to do. Just if you're a guy, walk in with some eyeliner, get everybody paying attention.
I'd be down to dress a little more queer at some point.
I would like you to. I would love to support that. I think it's great. I think we all need to be more gender non-conforming just to make life more fun.
But not to jump on this damn trend. Did you see, like, people are talking about gender nonconformity as a trend now?
No. Vogue, their cover issue
Yeah.
this year is how fashion designers are starting to get rid of the distinctions between gender. There is nothing wrong with them doing that, and I think that that is great. Because I think it's silly that we overly gender our clothes. And I think there's nothing wrong. Here's the thing. I have nothing wrong with the sharing and expression and spreading of different cultures to other cultures, as long as you just acknowledge its origin.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as, in their stuff they're acknowledging that this isn't something new that freaking Versace came up with, then I think it's fine. I think it's a good way of changing culture, you know what I mean, in a top-down kind of way. I'm pan, so kind of bi? All right. I said this to him last night.
He was like, figure it out.
Figure it out. Figure out your label. Well, I don't care which label you want to pick, because some people say bi because they're into people who are cisgender of their gender, right? But then there are people who say that to say you're bisexual is transphobic, which I think is a little much. And then they're saying people are pansexual because they don't mind if someone's transgender or not. I don't know. You identify as bi.
I identified as bi, but that was also before I even knew what pan was. And, like, I don't think of bisexual as being, like, just the two genders. I think of it as referring... I read something before... What did I read that was saying that, like, it argued that the distinction between, like, the bi was not referring to... I don't even remember. I read so much.
He does. He reads so much. It's great, but...
There's too many things.
Fuck,
that's gonna really bother me, though.
I don't remember. No one needs to label themselves as anything to conform to society. This is true. Although labels do make things easier sometimes, but they should always be ones you give yourself, not ones you have to live under by someone else's choice.
Although I will say, like, why can't we be humans, though? I do feel like the whole...
Because that disavows our different struggles and our differences, which make us stronger.
Well, and I was also going to say we're stupid social monkeys, so, like, labeling things and grouping ourselves off and, like, forming us versus them mentalities has been, like, a part of human nature since our beginning.
This is so...
It's actually something we should try to be less human about, I feel like.
That's probably true. I think that is a general... I think many people assume straight as a default, and that's true. That's called heteronormativity. And it's a thing, and it's a terrible thing, and we should burn it eternally in hell or whatever non-judgmental thing. Wait, I just lost it. Where was I? Okay, there you go.
Oh, thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching. I'm gay, and people keep saying, how do you know you don't like girls if you don't try it? And I've started to believe them, and I'm thinking I should try. You
should ask the straight people how they knew they liked girls if they hadn't had sex with them.
Right? Because they're talking about desire. You're talking about your love object. You're not talking about, like, it doesn't have to be, like, specific. Now, here's the thing. I'm a big believer in experimenting and doing lots of fun things because bodies are fun and it's fun. I said it had the opportunity presented itself for me to have sex with a girl in college. I probably would have done it just for funsies, not because it's something I actually desire. Who you are and what
okay. That's what it was.
What?
Bi means you're attracted to your own gender and other genders.
Oh! Whereas pan assumes that there is no gender. Okay. So I guess
it's still a case of, like, figure it out, but...
Well, but I disagree with pan then, because there are genders. There just are more than two, but there are genders. That's a real thing. But thank you for telling us that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Okay, what did we... Generalities. I think I should try Degrassi. The Vogue issue, they chose Gigi Hadid and her boyfriend, who are definitely not gender fluid. This is true, but she has more masculine look, and he has very feminine features, and that'll sell papers, and they're both people of color, so I'm going to go with it. It's fine. Plus, I love Zayn. And
also,
he's perfect and beautiful and
everything. Gigi Hadid and boyfriend.
And
not
boyfriend.
Zayn.
No, Zayn! Fudge Gigi Hadid. Who gives a shit about her? No, she's pretty, but...
Oh, you went too far.
Oh, did I? Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I was hoping it wasn't that far.
I want to see Kenny in one of the male rompers. Okay, but who has been wearing these rompers?
My
they
cousins,
were announced several months ago. I haven't seen a single
all
person.
My male cousins bought them for Grace's wedding
really?
as a joke. It was so funny. We were laughing so hard. I hate the male rompers. I think they're just gross, but whatever. Wow, Chris is smart. What do I have a master's in? I have a master's in philosophy, cosmology, and consciousness.
Here, let me do this. If you hold it in place, then it won't move on you.
Ah, thank you. I hope Chris is getting better with his therapy as we care. Oh, you're so sweet.
Oh, RJ said it. There you go.
Hi, France.
Da-da-da, da-da-da. I don't think we need to label ourselves in 70 categories. Be free to do it if you want, but one can overdo it.
That's kind of like telling other people what they're supposed to be. Like, I get what you're saying, and that it can seem like it's just so arbitrary, but, like, you don't get to tell other people how they get to label themselves.
Right. I think it's getting into the whole issue of, like, identity politics lately.
Which is starting to get to its end game. Like, I think we're running to a place where it's the end of the line, and we need to come up with another way of doing this, because it's starting to divide us and make us less powerful rather than unite us. And I don't know what the answer is. And as a white guy, I really don't get to say what it is, but I feel like we need to come up with something else.
How do you deal with the femininity present in gay guys turning one of them? There's a typo, but there's a question in here somewhere. I know.
Well, first thing is, not all gay guys are feminine. Some are very masculine, and some are very feminine, because gender presentation and orientation are two different things, often connected, but not always. Mm-hmm. So you're basically saying, like, if a gay guy is femi, a gay guy might not like him because he wants men. That's very essentialist, but it definitely is something that does come up in the community all the time.
And also something that I think, like, statistics will prove is not true.
But it happens all
the time. They'll fuck you. They just might not care about you.
They'll always fuck you. It's all about perception. Some welcome it and others react crazily at you being yourself, looking and saying, yeah, this is true.
I feel like lately, like, I've been seeing just, like, in the culture, people have been much more, like, yas, be yourself, which is cool to see. RJ looked hot in the romper. Well, I'll have to watch RJ's video then. Or pick. The social justice war lost us all branches of government.
That is not what happened. Like, I mean, there are definitely people who turned from leftism as a rule because they thought it got too crazy, but that is not the reason we lost the election. We lost the election due to the polarization of our nation, due to the baby boomers, and they all moving into areas where they only put people who think like that. That's largely what that had to do with. And ignoring the poverty that is going on in the rural parts of our nation and pretending like it was their own fault and they should just move to cities. And also Hillary is not a very likable person to most people.
There were a lot of things, a lot of factors going into what happened this election, for sure.
The lovely S wants just to know, are you gay, Kenny?
Am I gay? No, I'm not. I'm bisexual.
No, you're gay right now because you're with men.
Right, because I'm with two men. I'm super gay.
Two, count them, two.
Don't mention the orange in charge. That's amazing. Yeah, that's it.
Well, we're at the hour.
We are. It is probably about that time. Where did Kyle go? I thought he was going to come say hi.
Oh, he hates saying
Kyle! I think he wanted to just, like, he probably was, like, walking back and sweaty, so he wanted to be presentable for a hot sec.
Wow, someone invited 1,292 fans to this broadcast.
Well,
holy shit.
Thank you.
Can you imagine if they all just said yes? We're
Everyone
like, hi.
joins. Hi.
Hi.
Have a great time in Michigan. Oh, thank you. Yeah, they're all very sad that I'm not going to be.
He's so sad.
Here this weekend, but it's such a short trip.
We're so codependent. It's so not okay.
But where's the lie?
I'm really worried about the oligarchy more so.
More so.
I think they infiltrated us and made us unattractive to the general public on purpose. Of course they did! They always do that. Or, to phrase it from the French Revolution, sir, the peasants are revolting. Ugh, the peasants are always revolting. Are you thinking about a web series or shopping it around for your show?
For the show? I mean, I'm thinking probably at this point shopping it around just because, like, it would be... It's a lot more involved than it would be to, like, film it myself and put it on my YouTube channel. It needs a higher production quality. That being said, I have considered the idea of doing, like, a shorter web series type thing that would just be about a different topic. I actually thought about doing a web series around a person who, like, gets work at a trending internet company and the things that go along with that.
What? You mean your life?
No.
Aren't there non-disclosure issues in that?
Probably. Actually, I don't know when that expires, actually.
You should probably know that.
I should check into that. Also, hi.
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 How was work?
It's so hot right now.
Is it?
Do y'all not notice?
I mean, in here, is that what you mean, or out there?
In here.
Inside, it's very hot.
It was not that warm in here.
I'm
Where are you walking?
sweating
Where are you walking?
everywhere right now. No, it's not. Hi, guys. Hello,
Everyone's saying
world.
hi. How was work?
Work was good. A deal went through today, so I officially put that up.
Yay!
And the small one, but the big one is coming out this weekend or Monday, so like it's done. It just needs to be signed. So
That's
deals,
exciting.
Munty.
Bills.
But it's the weekend. And
You
I'm gonna
always
go.
get out of 2 truths and a lie. It's true. He hasn't done it yet. I thought about texting you actually today and being like, you should prepare one.
I was way too busy.
But I didn't.
For that shit. I was way too busy. Hot guy in the background. Right.
As a bi man, were you ever told that for being bi you were just being greedy? Okay, I hear that all the time, but I hear it from people as a joke generally.
You mean
I
me?
think.
More
You
about
mean me?
Like from Chris.
polyamory, right?
And
So-
yeah, probably I would hear it more about polyamory if anything, but no. It's just like, it's so ridiculous a thing to say. Like, do people actually say that? And believe it?
So what if you're just a little
Yeah, maybe I am greedy. It doesn't have to do with my sexuality. So Kyle, what do you think of the traveling idea? Oh, I mentioned it briefly earlier.
Obviously, I'm into it very much.
I mean, what I said was that it's like a very, very up in the air thing and like not a
Super up in
sure
the air.
issue figuring it out, just like exploring the idea at this point, but people were definitely like, you should come do meetups in different places.
Well, I
and
mean,
we'd
and
love
that's
to come
just
say
it. Like,
hi.
I know a lot of, at least people on the live show specifically, I know are in other countries. So, I mean, that's certainly something I would love doing. It's just, I mean, is this something you people would, you guys would actually be interested
Yeah, would you
in?
want to watch us travel the world?
And if so, what, I guess, would you want some of our themes to be, and I guess content to focus on or something? Because that's something we've been brainstorming right now, because obviously we want.
Well, yeah, something I've been really interested in, or one of the ideas that I had put forth was like exploring alternative relationships and just trying to, because obviously that's kind of where we are right now, is like non-traditional relationships, and I just think it'd be interesting to find other people who are doing things that are different, that are like not the norm, but are still like revolved around like loving and caring for, the people in your lives that you care about. So I think that'd be cool to like interview people, go around, like try and find some of these relationships. That was one of the ideas that I had that could accompany our travel. So we'll see.
But we like the idea. It's obviously something that we would love to do, but it's just how viable is it? And so that's kind of something we'd like to know. Yeah, what are your guys' thoughts?
I like being a slave to a straight couple, but it's not so loving and caring much of the time. Okay, but I would still probably want to learn more about that, to be honest. That sounds interesting. Sounds very
I
interesting.
would like to do that.
No. Are you playing music right now? Cool.
I'm listening.
I
to
could
a
hear
podcast.
something.
I know. I was
it's
like,
a
I heard
podcast.
applause when I sat down.
Yeah.
I'm like, is that a new feature?
All right. Oh, God. It's already been an hour. It really does not feel like it at all. Oh, it's been 58 minutes. Excuse me. I think we'll probably call it. Jacob, unfortunately, won't be back for another half hour at least, if not longer.
Well,
But-
he's in the valley. So
Well,
Oh,
that's-
so he'll be still a minute.
That is an interesting question. Though. So it sounds more like a fetish, but at what point? What's the difference between a fetish and identity?
That would be an interesting.
Because gay was a fetish for most of its history, and like part of me thinks of you guys as being poly is what you're doing, rather than poly being what you
Who we
are.
Who we
I
are,
agree.
yeah.
I don't want to label you that way, but I just, you know what I mean. But I,
Well, yeah, because it's not like
you can't only love one person. You know what I mean?
like if hypothetically, like I were to find myself alone and single again, I wouldn't necessarily just like only seek out couples from that point on. Yeah. That's curious. I'm gonna have to think about that.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to bring it out. You know, we were ending, but I was like, that's a good question.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, if you haven't, please go watch. Oh, nipple. Please go watch my newest vlog. I put it up. We have more stuff coming. Speaking of, I need to film you.
right now.
Not right now. In like a second, maybe.
No.
We'll see. Yeah, I think we should be back here next Friday. It's been a minute, I know, so maybe that doesn't mean a lot, but I'm planning on being back here next Friday, doing the live show again. So I hope you all join. You can follow me on Twitter because that's where I talk about whether we're gonna be live or not. It's just @KMoff. Yeah. I hope you guys have a good life and enjoy yourselves. And thank you for watching. What?
Have a good life. Goodbye forever.
Goodbye forever.
Um,
Bye.
Bye.